So the couples framework is something that we introduced in the first session of Mindful Mates, and we continue to make it the first thing that we talk about for however long the couple is engaged with us. And especially when we talk about dual trauma couples or couples that have multiple problems to work through, severe problems in their relationship, Mindful Mates, the couples program can go 1, 2, or 3 years. So it's a dose dependent engagement relationship. The more stress the couple is under, the more trauma they have suffered, the longer the treatment. The relationship framework is something that we use to make sure work is being done between sessions. For high conflict dual trauma couples, especially, seeing a therapist once every week is not going to be enough for them to manage their daily lives. So, what do we do in between session to make sure that the work is getting done in a way that supports them and doesn't send them back into fighting or withdrawal? We introduce a framework. I ask the couple to do 4 things on a weekly basis. The first thing is a couples meeting. A couples meeting is not therapy. It's where the couple sits down with each other and begins to experience co-regulation, which we practice in session. So they're sitting down, and in the early days of these couples meetings, they're using the prompt, how are you feeling about our relationship? This meeting must be protected time. Often it occurs outside of the household if there's children, so that the couple can have privacy. And they're sitting down for an hour and just sharing back and forth about how they think things are going. The way that couples communicate in this couples meeting is modeled in session. So they're supposed to take their communication tools that they're learning every single session and practice them in the couples meeting. So that's framework number 1. Part of the framework number 2 handles the most sensitive topics, the topics that are sure to get a couple either at each other's throat or completely disengaged. So part 2 of the framework is the couple's imago dialogue in writing. In this part of the framework, couples are asked to get a paper journal with lines in it so that they can write back and forth. What do they put here? Whatever it is that has a couple fighting intensely, disagreeing frequently, or disconnecting, withdrawing often, they begin to write in this couple's journal. So it's an unstructured journal. Basically, if somebody's about to blow their top or somebody's done, they're supposed to come to the journal and begin to write. Once they've written in the journal, it gets put away. And that partner is responsible for telling the other person, hey, I did an entry in the journal today. I was just feeling some kind of way. I knew I was going to like blow up at you if I tried to talk to you about this. And our therapist has said, we're not ready to talk about these really sensitive topics yet. So I have to write. Can you please just write a few sentences of reflection in the next couple days? So that's what a couple's journal looks like. And it is meant to be a holding place, a safe space, a therapeutic place to put the most troubling and distressing issues. These are now set to the side and they are off the table for discussion in the couple's daily life so that we don't get continuous rupture in this new connection that we're trying to build. Those really sensitive topics, those hard conversations are going to be dealt with also in therapy. So we have 2 places to deal with those conversations, not over text, not in email, and certainly not in verbal fighting. The third piece of the framework is playing together, date night. It's really important that this gets done as much as the couple can do it. It might be once a month. Um, Optimally, it'd be but once a week. And I really like couples to move out of the framework of dinner, go home, and sleep on a full belly. Let's do something novel. Let's learn something together. Let's do a ceramics class. Um, let's go and take a couple's dancing class. Let's go and learn a foreign language together. Let's go play frisbee golf. Let's try a snowshoe. Let's try an evening drive, or a walk around the island to look at the moon with hot chocolate. Let's learn to play together because in the beginning of the relationship, it's the play that fosters intimacy and connection, along with communication. And on a couple's date night, you're not allowed to talk about anything that's going to bring up conflict. You just have to be together and play. The last part of the framework brings in one of the most important elements in a relationship, which is novelty and curiosity. So there's two parts of a relationship that we want. There's safety and connection. But then there's also the ability to stand back from a partner and feel like you've learned something new, novelty, curiosity. So we want that distancing, and we can get that when we're learning things about our partner. How do we do that? When this is somebody that we go to bed with, wake up with, have our bad breath with in the morning, have our most sloppiest moments. Well, the couples cards are really good. So the couples cards you can purchase online, the Gottman Institute, as well as there's a couples therapist, and Esther Perel. So Gottman, Esther Perel, various places online have these couples cards that you can just leave on your bedside or use on your date night or day, and just take a few cards out and begin to ask your partner these reflective questions. See if you can learn something new. So that's the framework. We really hammer on that every session. I know when couples are doing this, and I know when they're not, because progress is seen when these techniques are used.